doctor wanting to become a civil servant, how do you justify it?
Let us talk about the contribution of Dhanvantari first.
Yes.
What do you know about him and what was his major contributions in the field of medicine?
You are a doctor. So while writing prescription, why do doctors write RX? What is the meaning of that?
Could you please tell me what is the reason of having this particular extremism present in Gadchiroli area?
What are the key reasons behind this farmer's suicide?
May I come in, sir?
Yes, come in.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
sir.
Please be
Good
seated.
morning, sir. Thank you, sir.
Please give a brief introduction about yourself.
I am Dr. Anket Jadhav. Currently, I am working as a medical officer in Primary Healthcare Center, Girgaon. I have completed my graduation from BJ Medical College, Pune.
Okay. A doctor wanting to become a civil servant, how do you justify it?
Sir, from early days of my college life, I had inclination towards civil services. But concrete decision to join civil services was taken during COVID-19 pandemic. At that time, I was working as intern doctor, and I thought that my decisions would impact a larger population.
Okay. How COVID has affected our lives?
COVID has affected our life in diverse ways, sir. First of all, it has made us conscious about our health. Secondly, we also taught life lessons like crisis management, and also we got to know the importance of life and personal relationships, in my view, sir.
Okay. What do you mean by promotive healthcare?
Sir, promotive healthcare or preventive healthcare, as far as I can remember, is active interventions to do in the healthcare sector to prevent the advent of diseases and to have more healthy lifestyle.
What is the patient-doctor ratio in our country and what is the prescribed ratio by the World Health Organization?
Sir, by WHO, the standard ratio should be 1:1000 doctor-patient ratio, but the exact ratio in our country is revolves around 1000, same, sir.
Almost the same. Then why is that you must have also noticed that doctors don't want to largely go to the rural areas and serve the population, rural population?
Yes, sir, it's true. Currently, I am working in the rural area as well, and I have seen that doctors have fancy expectations of urban life and they don't want to get into rural area. That is the primary reason. And also, sir, the infrastructure inadequateness that is we have in rural healthcare settings. That
Apart
might
from
be the
infrastructure, what are other problems in the rural healthcare sector?
Apart from infrastructural issues, sir, other is the inadequacy of paramedical staff. And also there is kind of interference from local governance bodies as well in the independent working of doctors, and there is a lack of compliance from patients as well, sir. These issues, I think.
How will you ensure that doctors are attracted to go and stay in the rural areas and serve the people around?
So as far as my experience in this regard is concerned, I think that the public service motive and ethical training regarding this ethical value training of sacrifice should be given right from the first year of medical science. In today's era, sir, I think doctors are more motivated by the corporatization and profit motive. This feeling of doctors should be removed from their minds, and if we instill the spirit of public service right from their first year of MBBS, then I think more and more doctors will be joining rural services.
So what are the reasons for this unethical practice or of your nexus between the corporate big pharma companies and the doctors?
Sir, the nexus is that the pharma companies give incentive to doctors to sell the branded medicines, and they do not prescribe generic medicines for that purpose. And also, sir, some doctors also ascribe to the unscrupulous practice of giving more tests and relying less on clinical practice.
How the government has been trying to ensure promotion of generic medicine?
Sir, Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Yojana, that is the government scheme currently government is implying. Under that scheme, they have stores for generic medicines, and in this way they are promoting generic medicines.
Do you think our insurance model is successful in the Ayushman Bharat scheme?
In my experience, sir, it is quite successful, and but we have to ensure that missing middle population, missing middle class, that is not covered in the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, should have alternative kind of model for them as well.
What do you mean by Hippocratic oath?
Sir, Hippocratic Oath is a pledge that we subscribe at the time of our graduation to so that the doctor should imbibe certain values, and he should have a public service motive.
Okay, there was a controversy somewhere in the past, recent past, that it should be replaced by Charak Shapath. Are you aware of the controversy?
Yes, sir. In my view, that is not the controversy as such, sir. And Charak has been a very good pioneer of medicine in India, and I think we should have our own pledge instead of Hippocratic Oath.
Why it is not happening then, Charak Shapath?
Exactly why it is not happening, I do not know the answer, sir. But I think it should be, the Charak's oath should be there in our practice.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ankit, or what is the pronunciation of your name?
It's right, sir. Anket.
Ankit, no?
Yes.
All right, fine. So, Ankit, tell me one thing. Recently, news cropped up regarding the logo of the Medicine Association, and where the IMA also registered a protest with that logo. What was the controversy?
Sir, as far as I remember regarding this controversy, sir, the logo is Greek god or something, the IMA logo, and it was been placed that it should be replaced with Dhanvantari, as far as I know.
It had already been done.
The current status, I am not aware of this, sir. I will read about it, sir.
It was related to the color of god Dhanvantari over there. All right. Okay, fine. Since you know about Dhanvantari,
Yes.
let us talk about the contribution of Dhanvantari first. What do you know about him, and what was his major contributions in the field of medicine?
Sir, as far as my limited knowledge in this regard is concerned, Dhanvantari is a godly figure in Ayurvedic medicine, and it is a source of inspiration for Ayurvedic practitioners. And they think that the intuition knowledge that Ayurvedic practitioners have regarding medicines is come from Dhanvantari god.
Dhanvantari was a minister and also a physician, in the court of which ruler of ancient India?
Sorry, sir, I am not aware of.
Not aware of this.
Yes, sir.
All right, fine. Tell us something about the concept of Ayurveda that you mentioned just now, which is the earliest text from where we get the information regarding Ayurveda.
Yes, sir. Sir, Ayurveda works around the Tridosha theory, that is Kapha, Pitta and Vata. If there is any disturbance between these three milieu, then...
Now, again repeating my question. The earliest text from where we get the information regarding Ayurveda, which is that text, the book, from where we get the information regarding Ayurveda?
I think Atharva Veda is...
Right. So, tell us something about Atharva Veda. What all information do we have from Atharva Veda apart from Ayurveda?
Atharva Veda also contains other charms and magic spells, and also Atharva Veda contains other practices of other tribes in that period, sir.
Right. So, do you think that still that those practices are continued in some system of medicine, even current time in India?
Yes, sir. Certainly, the practices are continuing, sir. Also, we have bought various practices from Ayurveda itself, and modern medicine has many Ayurvedic drugs as well, sir.
Such as?
There was one drug called Reserpine. It is what is anti-hypertensive drug, sir. It has origins in Ayurveda. And also, sir, Kshar Sutra therapy. That is also practiced in modern medicine also, sir.
All right. So, since you have also talked about the person called Charak just now, so why Charak is called as father of medicine, and why there is a controversy regarding Charak and Dhanvantari? Who should be called as the father of medicine, Charak or Dhanvantari?
I think, sir, in my view, Charak Samhita, that is the text, is a very comprehensive and very knowledgeable text even for the today's scenario, and even today we do not know about, and there is inadequate research regarding this. So I think in my view, Charak should be called as father of medicine.
Father of medicine.
Yes.
Very good. Tell us something about Sushrut Samhita. Have you heard about Sushrut?
Yes, sir. Sushrut was a very renowned ancient surgeon, sir. And even today, sir, his instruments are even used today.
So, what all instruments were actually invented by Sushrut?
The instruments of surgical instruments like cutting and also for dissecting fields, that instrument.
So, do you know about the specific name of those instruments? Because we are giving general.
I name about the modern names. I don't know the ancient names.
Okay, fine. My last question to you is this. Since you've been working in the rural areas and as a medical officer, you must have faced many challenges, but one of the challenges is also to communicate with the people of those areas.
Yes, sir.
Because supposed to give the medical prescription in English, they hardly understand that.
Yes, sir.
So how do you actually write the prescriptions?
Actually, I write prescription in English, sir, but I explain in my mother tongue, that is Marathi, to them, and I explain them that you should follow up regularly.
So can't you write it in Hindi and so that they can understand?
Sir, sometimes I write dosage in Hindi, sir, that you should take this medicine for 2 times a day. But the exact name I write in English, because the pharmacist or other, if he goes to the other clinician, he must be knowing that, sir.
Thank you. Okay.
Ankit, you are a doctor. So while writing prescription, why do doctors write RX? What is the meaning of that?
Actually, the practice originated in the Greek practice, sir, and it's kind of religious. It has some religious significance.
And this is a specific meaning of that word.
Exactly the meaning I not aware.
What do you understand by antimicrobial resistance and why it has emerged as one of the biggest threat to mankind?
Antimicrobial resistance stands for those antibiotics which were effective earlier are not responding to and bacteria have become resistant to it. That is the case. And the reasons for antibiotic resistance are that today doctors are prescribing, some other doctors and also the mainstream doctors are prescribing more antibiotics in the fields that are not needed, such as,
yes.
Can I complete my answer?
Yes.
In the common cold or viral illnesses, we don't need antibiotics, sir. But still general practitioners go on prescribing due to lack of awareness also.
So this practice of what is called OTC drugs, over the counter drugs.
Yes, sir.
How it is being regulated to control AMR?
Currently, sir, over-the-counter drugs are regulated in the field of mental drugs and mental. Only those drugs like sedatives and hypnotics are stringently regulated, but the antibiotics are not that stringently regulated.
Okay. Which is the new COVID variant that is spreading these days?
Currently, JN.1 variant is spreading.
Okay, and it is from which lineage?
It is from the Omicron lineage.
Okay. While the patients, treating the patients, sometimes a principle is followed which is called triage. What is triage?
Triage is followed in emergency medicine services. For that purpose, we have to categorize patient into 3 categories, that is red, green and yellow. And in that purpose, the red patients require immediate attention, sir, and other patients can, and sorry sir, I got one color wrong, that is black color. And moribund patients that cannot be salvaged are categorized as that. And some patients which do not require immediate attention, they are categorized in other color.
Was it being used also during the COVID-19 severe wave, second wave?
In theoretical perspective, it is not applicable in COVID, sir, but it was used because we had a huge crunch of resources at that time and we were running out of the resources.
So, India is referred to as third world's pharmacy, but in recent times we have been getting a bad name because of some incidents that have happened where Indian made medicines have led to deaths of children. What are these cases and where they have taken place?
Sir, in Gambia and Africa, sir, we have cases, and also in Central Asian countries we also have cases.
Uzbekistan we had, yes.
Yes, sir. Our cough syrup caused the death of children.
So what was the chemical, what was the toxic element that was found in those cough syrups? Sir,
chlorpheniramine was the content commonly used in medicine, but it might have been changed into other toxic drugs, sir. Exactly that I am not aware.
So what should India do?
In this case, we should have a stringent regulation regarding this. The Export Control Authority should have controls regarding this, and also domestically we should have good regulation for this purpose.
Okay, what is Arogya Maitri and what is Vaccine Maitri?
I know about Vaccine Maitri, sir. Vaccine Maitri is a vaccine diplomacy where as we have a good production capability of vaccines, we give vaccines to the needing country.
Okay, it is said about WHO that it is an organization which knows everything but does nothing. Do you agree with this criticism?
As far as organization who knows everything, in that context, sir, I will say that WHO is a huge reporter of knowledge, but to do nothing is not, I think...
Especially in COVID-19, we saw that WHO was almost helpless.
Because it lacked executive powers as such, sir. It issued directives, and the criticism was also that it didn't respond too much early.
Who is the Director General of WHO?
Right now, I am not aware about it.
Okay. My final question to you is about the Israel-Palestine issue.
Yes.
So, what is India's stand on Israel-Palestine issue, and should India change its support to Israel?
Currently, sir, India has continued its historical stance, that is two-state solution for Israel and Palestine. And I think, sir, as India has been balancing a diplomatic tightrope there, that we have strategic interest in Middle East and Arab countries, as well as we have security implications with Israel, sir. So this stance should be continued, but in coming times it will be very hard for India to balance this stance.
Okay, thank you.
Anket, you are coming from Maharashtra. Maharashtra is one of the developed state, but still happen to see left-wing extremism in Gadchiroli. Now, after being so developed, could you please tell me what is the reason of having this particular extremism present in Gadchiroli area?
Yes, sir. The regions of Gadchiroli are heavily densely forests, sir, there is, and also there is a lack of development in that place. But while comparing the numbers, we can see that there is a 90% reduction of left-wing extremism due to government efforts in recent times. But the infrastructure inadequateness and we are not currently reaching out to these communities. That might be the factors that still continue in some pockets.
So what is the reason for such a left-wing extremism that is there in Maharashtra? Is it the same reason that is there in the northern India, or some other reason, some other aspect is there?
It's almost the same reason like Sir Jal, Jungle and Zameen. But other aspects like mafia nexus is also there, sir. As far as I can see, there is a mining in this regard, sir. And there is a nexus between these Naxalites and mining mafias, sir.
Okay.
This is the new.
Now, who are urban Naxals?
Urban Naxals is a contemporary term used to those people, sir, which have sympathy for these Naxalisms, and they promote extreme left-wing ideology while living as other people like us.
Okay. Now, since you are coming from Maharashtra, there has been a popular sentimental demand since from the reorganization of the state and of course recognition of the Marathi identity. Now my question to you is that why still after so many years Marathi was not recognized as a classical language?
There have been efforts regarding Marathi, sir, and history of Marathi is quite old, as we can see from the documents. But I think the government should consider in this regard and should give Marathi a classical language.
Now, what is your opinion? What is the reason that why Marathi till now has not been given the status of a classical language?
I think, sir, from my view, we are inadequate in this regard. We should make too much efforts to convey the government that this is a classical language and has strong historical roots.
Okay. Also, because you are a doctor and happen to see that most of the newspaper report point out that today we're seeing frequent heart attacks. Now, could you please tell me the reason that why so much of heart attacks are happening in India, especially the heart attacks at the very early age?
Sir, the lifestyle is first and foremost in this regard, sir. The stress levels have increased. Also, the food habits and dietary habits have changed dramatically, sir. People are eating more and more fast foods. And also the surveillance infrastructure is also increasing, sir. We are knowing that the people have died due to heart attacks. These are the three reasons as far as I can get. Thank you, sir.
Aniket, you are from Hingoli, right? Hingoli is known for one of the Jyotirlingas out of 12. Which one is this?
Aundha Nagnath.
Right. Hingoli is also one of the district which is sort of infamous for farmers' suicide, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what are the key reasons behind this farmers' suicide?
As far as I can list, sir, first thing is land fragmentation. That has been happening since last 20 to 30 years. So, people are not getting enough returns due to that. And another is the rain-fed nature of agriculture in Hingoli, sir. On the vagaries of monsoon, sir, people depend and farmers depend. And also, as far as I am from farming community as well, sir, as far as I can see, the prices and price realization has not increased as such, sir. In 2000, there was a 4,000 per quintal rate to the soybean, and in current times also there is 4,500. Sir.
So, what about the debt trap of the farmers?
Yes, sir. There is a lack of formal credit availability in our region, sir, and people rely more and more on shawkars and money lenders, private money lenders.
Right. What is the rate at which crop loan is available to the farmers?
Exact data I have not, sir, but can I guess in this regard?
You can guess.
Formal loan is 20 to 30%, sir, maximally.
20 to 30, what I am talking about, that what is the rate that the government charges or the bank's charges for the crop loans. These are very subsidized kind of loans.
Yes, sir, 6% per annum.
Yeah, it is 7, but 4% is interest subvention by the government, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, you are also a doctor, right? What is National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority and what are its mandates?
Sir, National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authorities decide rates, and it also has regulatory mandate regarding compulsory licensing, as far as I can remember.
Okay. And you have also done some debating related to will AI replace human beings? So, will AI replace human beings?
In my opinion, sir, in coming 2 to 5 years, the repetitive intellectual jobs, which requires a kind of data analysis, will definitely be replaced by AI. But the jobs requiring complex emotional skills, soft skills, will not be replaced by.
So, will the job of doctors be replaced by AI?
In certain areas, yes, sir, like radiology and in ophthalmology, we can have more AI coming, but the emergency medicine and those required soft skills will not be replaced, in my view, sir.
Right. Recently, we have seen that there is tendency that lots of investors from, external sectors, foreign investors, they are increasing their stake in Indian hospitals, right? Why this is happening?
As far as my knowledge in this regard is concerned, sir, it might be due to the medical tourism that is happening in our country, and people are coming from all over the world due to at the affordable cost we provide surgeries to them. So it might be due to that, sir. The booming healthcare sector is there.
Right. And you have been writing plays in Marathi, right? What makes Marathi literature distinct from other part of literature, say Hindi literature?
I have read about Hindi and English literature, but what qualities that I found.
So can you differentiate between the two?
Yes, sir.
Differentiate. Or anything special about Marathi?
Marathi literature is more revolutionary, sir. It has a kind of voice for Dalits and downtrodden sections of society. It also has some realistic notions that it depicts the situations very realistically, sir. These 3 things I can point out as compared to Hindi.
Thank you, Anket.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, this mental health care issue is becoming very significant issue in our country.
Yes, sir.
So much so that in 2017 an act was also passed and some amendments were also brought out. Tell us some important 3 and 4 features of this amended your act.
Sir, after this amendment, mental health has been in the forefront of policy of health. Before that, sir, mental health was not considered as important as that. Also, sir, it has improved focus on students, also the working professionals, and there is kind of more focus from the primary healthcare setup to the tertiary healthcare setup about mental health in this act, sir.
Any specific provisions like suicide, any amendment relating to the suicide?
Yes, sir. There has been proposal for that decriminalization of suicide. Yes.
This is a big thing, isn't it? Suicide has been decriminalized. Any provision on use of electroconvulsion machines and all that?
Sir, exact provision regarding ECT machines, I am not aware.
You are not aware. Okay, one last question before we let you go. How do you manage patient expectations, especially when you are faced with drug constraints?
Yes, sir, it is extremely challenging as far as my experience in this regard is concerned, sir. Most of the times, if there is a lack of drug shortage in government setup, then we have to counsel to the patient that you should take this drug from private sector, sir. And I should say to them that you should have least expensive drug, that is generic drugs.
Okay, thank you very much. It was nice talking to you. Your interview is over. You may go now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. May I come in, sir?
Yes, come in. Sit down. Your interview is on 19th.
Yes, sir.
Which attempt is this?
First attempt, sir.
Very first attempt. Good. How did you find your interactions with us?
Sir, it was quite good, sir. But I think I missed on few aspects, sir. I was speaking too fast, I thought, sir.
I think if you take a pause in between, it will add to your performance. Really, it will add to your performance. You are a wonderful candidate for the civil services, I must tell you. Very honest person, very humble, meek, humble, polite person, and you try to speak to the best of your abilities.
Yes.
And never ever you entered into the area of, by and large, guesswork. So these are all good points. So, and whatever the information you have, knowledge you have, you try to convey to us in a clear way, in a very candid way. So your communication skill is also good.
Thank
So
you.
you could communicate your ideas very clearly, very frankly, and so all those qualities are there. That's because you are a medical graduate and you have opted for medicine as your optional paper. You should expect a lot of many questions in your area of studies and the larger perspective healthcare system in our country, because that is area of focus. So healthcare issues, what are the problems in the urban areas, what are the issues in the rural areas, private sector healthcare, your public sector healthcare, what are the differences between the two sectors and all that. Particularly you are working in the rural area.
Yes, sir.
So try to get 4, 5, 6 points. Clearly note down those 5 important 6 points, so that if this kind of question is asked, you are not fumbling to find the answers. So it should come naturally to you, because it also speaks of your own personal experience.
Yes.
Of spending time in rural areas, and what kind of problems you have faced apart from theoretical problems as a doctor in whatever area you are working. So what exactly you have seen,
Yes.
and what as a doctor you feel that should be done which has not been done, which if you are go to the administrative side, probably you may be able to help the people there in getting access to the basic medical needs. Then one question, you should not try to be very, very self-opinionated on anything. When we asked you about the Hippocratic oath and all that, and Charak and all, don't take a final call. Like it's all Indian, we should go for the Indian modification of the Hippocratic oath.
Yes.
Just maintain that this was the controversy. I didn't ask you whether you should go or not. You went a step ahead saying that no, this is okay.
Okay, sir.
So try to take a very balanced view. That is what I am saying. This was one such issue. There may be other issues also. When you are confronted with such kind of a situation, don't try to be judgmental in your approach. Just give a balanced view.
Okay.
And this was the controversy, and this is where it stands, whatever it is. That is another thing. When you are a boy from Maharashtra, the Maharashtra border issues, just have a look at that. Some questions may be asked. Then ancient text of Indian medicine, so Charak, whatever controversies are there, just have a bird's eye view on that.
Okay, sir.
So that's such questions if asked. National Pharmaceutical Pricing Agency. So if you know what exactly this agency does, no problem. If you don't know, clearly say, I've heard about this, but I don't know what a specific role it does play.
Okay.
Related to pricing and capping of rates of drugs and all that. So such type of questions, if I ask what agency is doing what, which agency is doing what, then either you know or you don't know. When you know, explain it. If you don't know, politely say, I don't know.
Okay.
Isn't it? Instead of guessing and then withdrawing. Okay. RX, I think as a medical, this thing, any doctor, before writing names of medicine, writes RX.
Yes.
It's a Latin word. Okay. So RX meaning also, I mean, you are a doctor. So what is RX? You go back and just read it. Okay. Controversy on cough syrup. Okay, no problem. You stated about the countries where it has happened. But what exactly was there in the cough syrup? Why it turned out to be a poisonous syrup? That you should be aware. What exact composition was there and what has caused this? That you should remember. Similarly, Arogya Maitri also, these are all related to your area of work only. Arogya Maitri and DG WHO, I mean, you are supposed to be knowing who is the DG WHO in the present context. One other important area is development of this green corridor for smooth passage of ambulance,
Okay, sir.
isn't it? So for transplant and all that. So one such corridor has been tried in the country. So what is the importance of such corridors and all that? As a doctor, what do you feel? What should be done about it?
Okay, sir.
So, and mental health care is another big area. This is an emerging area, and the government of the day is quite concerned about this area. Read about medical health issues also. And another related area is the quackery issue, because you have said that WHO says one for 1,000 population, then why so many quacks are there in the country, and which rules, which act governs them, and still why it is happening. Okay. Medicine, I have already told you about those pharma and nexus and all that. Your organ business of transplant and all that. Some questions may be asked. So I think you should be able to answer to those questions. Apart from all these general issues, Maharashtra specific, your current affairs, what is happening in the country, around the country. So what kind of questions will be asked, nobody can guarantee you. But the way you answer questions, by and large, it impressed us. Only thing is, keep a pause.
Yes, sir.
That will add to your this thing. And then wherever you don't know, say no.
Yes, sir.
Try to be honest all the time.
Okay, sir.
This is all from our side. Wish you all the best. If you have any specific question to ask.
Sir, is there any facial expression of tenseness?
No, it was not apparent. You appear to be a very pleasing personality, a very pleasant person. Internally, you may have been nervous, but it was not getting reflected on your face.
No, sir, I was not nervous, but I got a compliment from other that the facial expressions say that I am anxious.
No. At least we could not notice any anxiety on your face.
Yes.
So it was very natural, normal. Absolutely. Stay the way you are and don't get tensed. If somebody has noticed,
Yes, sir.
try to be very normal, natural, and do your best.
And I am working on this pause part, sir. I am working on it.
Okay. All the best. All the best.
Thank you, sir.